Alright everybody, welcome back once again to the channel. So finally I chose a perfect time of the evening. Tonight we are going to check out another short horror film, okay? First of all, I just want to thank you guys for clicking on that thumbnail, clicking on the video, and just supporting me on this channel. So I really appreciate your guys' views more than anything, especially your guys' comments. And of course, also thank you for those who have subscribed to the channel. I really appreciate you guys' support. But tonight, the one that we're going to check out is a very short film, okay, so about 5 minutes. It's not going to be too long, but I'm definitely very excited because this one is another one by Buried Hatchet Productions. So I just watched their first video, well, not their first video, but the first video I watched from their channel was called Incarnate, and I really enjoyed that one. I actually got some a beautiful comment by that channel, so I'm really thankful and very honored to always receive comments from the actual channel that I reacted to. It really means a lot to me, and it was just super unreal that I got a comment from them. So thank you so much for reaching out to me, Buried Hatchet Productions. I really appreciate it, and I really hope I don't know, maybe at some point I get to work with y'all. I'm an illustrator, so I'm always looking for inspiration and opportunities to maybe work with somebody with a team of creators. But anyway, I really enjoyed your film, you guys. And the one I'm going to check out tonight is called Blind Henry, also by Buried Hatchet Productions. And so if you guys want to stick around and wait till my thoughts after the film, I would really appreciate that. Alright, so without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into this. Let's get scared. Fun fact of the day, unlike planet Earth, it actually takes longer for Venus to rotate on its own axis than it does for it to revolve around the sun. Interesting. I had to pause that because I'm not gonna have time to read all that. Pretty slow reader.
Wazoom, give me an easy dinner recipe. 15 minutes.
Here I have found 15 easy recipes. Would you like me to pick one for you?
Yeah.
Okay. Here I have found noodle soup, Blind Henry's favorite dish.
Blind Henry?
Would you like to try Blind Henry's favorite noodle soup?
Never mind, Wazoom. Just...
Yeah, don't say yeah, that sounds...
Do you want to know who Blind Henry is?
Wazoom, off.
Henry was a child who had no parents. No one to love him. Nothing to love about him.
Wazoom,
Henry spent years
off.
and years tossed through foster care until he was old enough to be on his own. But Henry couldn't make it in the world alone. Truth be told, all Henry wanted was a mother. Henry lacked most of his senses. No sight, no hearing, lack of feeling. His taste buds were weak, but he could taste one thing, and one thing only, his favorite, noodle soup. Oh, how he loved his noodle soup. It was all he ate. It was the only thing he could affiliate with feeling at home. Henry could not do much on his own, but had no one to take care of him.
Wazoom,
He
power
spent his days
off.
kept alone, waiting for someone to take care of him, to love him like a child. But no one could. Blind Henry got sick, not being able to fight it off. Poor
Wazoom
Blind
ain't
Henry
listening to
died
her.
alone with no one to care for him. All
Oh,
alone.
jeez. She's gonna unplug Wazoom. Well, that's not weird at all. Oh man, I'd freak out. I don't know how she's so calm still. Oh god. What the heck?
Blind Henry finally found his mommy, and he's standing right next to her.
He's looking for her. There he is. Oh! Oh!
If you enjoyed this original horror short, consider supporting us on Patreon so that we can continue our monthly upload schedule.
That was scary. Oh my god. Wow. Good job. Good job, Buried Hatchet. That was badass. I enjoyed this one. Alright, everybody, that was Blind Henry. So let's talk about this film really quick. The acting was very good from this character, this actress that I don't think we ever got her name in the film. But this whole film takes place in her room. Looks like it's like late evening, and she's about to get some sleep, but then she gets a craving, and she talks to this machine to give her like a recipe. This machine called Wazoom, this like smart tech. I guess it's like another name for Alexa, but obviously it's called Wazoom. And before she talks to this smart technology, it says this like quote about like unlike Earth, something like how does it go? Like it takes Venus a longer time to rotate on its own axis than it takes Earth to rotate around the sun. I didn't really get that one. I don't know how it connected to the film. If you guys can help me out with that. I was trying to figure out what it was, how it was connected to the film. But I thought that quote was very interesting. I just couldn't connect it. But basically the film takes place in this room and the lighting is low, which was just perfect. I think it was really good that she had this like lamp on rather than the whole room light. So very, very good job with that. And as she's talking to this to the smart tech here, or to Wazoom, and the Wazoom starts giving her the recipe that she asks for. She gives her this specific noodle soup recipe for this specific character named Henry, or Blind Henry, right? And so that's when, I mean, even I was completely thrown off, and she gets thrown off, and then she just says, you know what, forget it. But then Wazoom keeps going and starts describing, like, or asking her, do you want to know who Blind Henry is? And even though she continues to say off, right, Wazoom off, it continues to explain Henry's story, Blind Henry's story. And as it's explaining Blind Henry's story, it looks like at that point, this supernatural type character, Blind Henry, has hacked this smart technology, is what I'm assuming here. And he kind of lives through there, I guess. And he eventually ends up in her room at some point, which she starts hearing sounds of this, like, she starts hearing a sound by the door of this plate, right? Like the clicking of a spoon on a plate. And so she looks over and it's a bowl of soup. And so when she approaches a bowl of soup, and it looks like it has a napkin under it. I thought it was like a note, but it's a napkin or something like that. And she lifts up, as she approaches the bowl of soup, she lifts up the spoon and there's a piece of glass under there. So as soon as this character sees this piece of glass in the soup, she obviously freaks out and then puts the spoon back down abruptly. And then she gets up, after she hears like some kind of sound from her closet, goes up to the closet, and then that's where we get the intro to this Blind Henry character. And he, as she's looking through the clothes or whatever, he pops out of there and looks like it's like a regular man, right? Just filled with blood, and he's got this rag over him. And he's just starting to like yell mom, like mommy, like a child. And so at that point, I was like, I think he's referring to this main character as his mom, as his mother. He's basically just looking for his mother. And I kind of felt like a sadness for this character in a way, even though I was a little freaked out as well, just by the way he was like, screaming the name out very painfully. It sounded very painful the way he was screaming this. But all he wanted was just kind of like, I felt like all he wanted was just some love, some soup, But, you know, of course, just like anyone would, she ran to the other side of the hallway or whatever and just hides as he's screaming out, you know, mommy. And so at some point, Wazoom starts to tell her that he finally found his mom and he's standing right beside her. And I was like, oh God, we're about to get a jump scare. And at that point, she's looking around her with her hand in her mouth like this. We cut to the shot where Blind Henry is standing behind her, opening his mouth unnaturally, like just to a point where it's just stretching, endlessly, where it looks like he's about to eat her. But then before we get more of that, the scene cuts off, and that's the end of it. So I thought that was a great ending right there. We didn't need to see more. I thought that was just perfectly captured. I think as viewers, we all can guess what's going to happen here. Obviously, this main character dies by Blind Henry. Let's talk about the lighting of the room there really quick. It definitely made the horror element a lot scarier. It made the whole film a lot scarier. So I really like how this took place at night too, where you wouldn't even be scared to run outside because it's nighttime. The first thing you want to do is probably just hide in the closet somewhere in your house or something like that. But I can just probably imagine like the fear of just hearing these sounds. It's almost like it paralyzes you. All you can do is just hide and just wait for this thing to pass. But unfortunately, it cuts to this guy just being behind her and about to devour her in a very unnatural way. So that was really well done. The acting was well done by her as well. And even though this was a short film, this was very, very effective, and I really did enjoy myself with this. I cannot wait to see more of Buried Hatchet Productions films. So if you guys stuck around this far and just listened to my thoughts, I really appreciate it, you guys. I think though, how do I put it? I think as far as I've seen, like these last two films for Buried Hatchet Productions, like The Incarnate and this one here today, they're very, very similar. I definitely felt them similar to where there was this man that was, more of like a ghost or some kind of supernatural figure coming after somebody from like a past life or from a dead or from the dead or something like that. But I just felt them very, very similar. Did you guys see the similarities? If you guys have not seen Incarnate, go ahead and check that one out, and then you guys can let me know down below this one here, or even down below the comments of Incarnate, of the reaction of Incarnate for this exact channel, and you can tell me if you saw a lot of similarities. So I definitely felt a lot of that happening here, even the same formula type thing, where it's a young girl in her home alone, and then of course starts to hear weird sounds, something unrealistic happens, like very horrific, supernatural again. I keep saying that word, but that happens. And then, unfortunately, at the end, this person dies. It ends up with a tragic death. So, yeah, that's what I felt about this one, but I still enjoyed it very much. What are you guys' thoughts? Leave them on the comment section. Drop them in the comment section down below. And thank you guys once again for watching this with me all the way to the end and listening to my thoughts. I hope you guys have a great night. And close all your doors, lock your doors, and close your closet doors as well, and make sure you are nice and covered up by the end of the night so you can sleep nice and peacefully. All right, keep the monsters out of your bed and your mind. All right, you guys, take care of yourselves. Peace.